people who like hate fun and joy, and if they see you having fun and joy, they just want to crush it. Suckers. Fun sponge. Dopamine
out.
It's the only thing they're sucking.
Okay, so we did the seasonal.
Life as a mom, entrepreneur, wife, friend, and human is a lot. Join me, Katie Jacobs.
And me, Brandy Chandler, every Thursday as we have unfiltered, hilarious, and relatable conversations about the ups, the downs, and the chaos of it all.
Pour a glass and pull up a seat.
Because you're always welcome at our table. Good morning.
Guten Morgen.
She did what?
She did what?
She did a little hit of dopamine.
That one felt good. Getting a little.
I know that gave us a little surge. Yes.
Yeah, it was a little bump. I love this episode.
This is fun, but I'm confused about some facts.
When are we not confused? I think people listen to us because we stay confused, and they're like, I can relate to that.
They're like, look, other people that don't have it figured out. All right. So I was listening to a conversation about people who were planning a fall dopamine menu. And although I wasn't too on board with the actual seasonal part of it, I was like, in general, that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
So then we jumped off that boat.
As we do.
And went swimming.
Can it be a yacht this time?
Yes.
Because I'm tired of being in a dinghy. The fall isn't as exciting.
We're like Princess Di. We're on our yacht.
And those are great photos.
Getting dopamine from everywhere.
I love the idea. And this is a theme that we talk about. So it's an extension on something that we often hit on.
Yeah, it's just a better name.
Which is just really doing things in our lives that bring us joy every single day.
And by joy, we mean the feel-good hormone called dopamine.
Yes. All right. Do you want to jump into the...
I don't even know where to start.
I think we start with how things have devolved with dopamine in our brains.
Yeah, and this is where I'm confused. So dopamine is the feel-good hormone that, when you do something like you have a great conversation and coffee with a friend and you feel so good afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But also we are being bombarded with information now that dopamine that we get from like social media and that constant entertainment is bad dopamine for us. So that's where I'm confused. Where's the line? Why is social media dopamine bad? Which, you know me, I'm always trying to get off social media. So I have no problem with it, but I just don't understand how it goes from good dopamine to bad dopamine.
Well, okay. So I was reading about this, and the problem is that it's the addiction to the small hit that you're able to get so often. So
it's almost like false dopamine then.
No, it's dopamine, but it's the same dopamine so I think I've talked about this here. I've talked about this in speaking engagements. Social media is literally engineered the same way that after the dopamine you would get from playing the slot machines at a casino.
Yeah.
So the idea is you want to reinforce people coming just for that small win, right?
Yeah.
So a like, that's a small win. Or someone commenting, that's a small win. But it's a win nonetheless. Now, conversely, if you are, and you will hear younger generation talking about this, I posted, no one liked it. So the converse side of that is it's those small hits become addictive, and B, when you're not getting the hit from it, it has in the ability to create a lot of anxiety, depression, and that is compounded by the fact that the amount of time you spend on it as opposed to being physically active or connecting with other people in a way that brings like, all right, let me phrase it. Connecting with people in a way that's more meaningful and heartfelt than just this quick hit from a stranger. Let me expand on that. So let's say I post for my son's birthday and all these messages come in and all these, likes and hits and, oh my gosh, happy birthday, whatever. That's attention. That's dopamine. I'm getting those hits. Great, right? Little hit, little hit, little hit. Okay. Let's say you and I go to one of those epic, like 3-hour dinners and we are able to talk about all the things that you refuse to talk about on this podcast, including your love life. Your Charleston past, your sordid past, you naughty girl. And we have this like really meaningful connection. We talk about life and love and all of the things that are meaningful. And those dinners and you walk away and your heart is like bursting with joy. The dopamine is flowing. It is like a high of all highs. You just text each other afterwards. You're getting in bed and after you've washed your face and you're like, I love you so much. I'm so grateful for our friendship. I love that we're able to have these conversations.
And that also lasts for days.
And it
like
lasts
2 or 3
for
days
days
later.
and you want to recreate it. And it has meaning. You don't just feel it in your head, like you feel it in your heart. And I think that in my translation of all of this is the difference.
Well, I still have one more question.
Sure.
What about all the people who are addicted to social media, but they're not posting? They're just intaking the social media. They're just viewing, but they still have that addiction and there's still some dopamine chaos going on. That is not the good kind for them. Is it just the constant use or the constant just new thing?
I think it is also the addiction to that shorter form video that you're just constantly being entertained.
Yeah, I think that
entertain me. I also want to back up a second and read this because this resonated. When the outcome is unpredictable, this is in terms of social media. When the outcome is unpredictable, the behavior is more likely to repeat. Think of a slot machine. If game players knew they were never going to get money by playing the game, then they would never play. The idea of a potential future reward keeps the machines in use. The same goes for social media sites. One does not know how many likes a picture will get, who will like the picture, and when the picture will receive likes. The unknown outcome and the possibility of a desired outcome can keep users engaged with the sites. So this was not, and you can go down this rabbit hole of the engineering of these sites, and it's actually quite interesting. But this is more speaking to the behavior of how people use these sites. And I think that's something you have to know and understand. So when you're asking, go back to your question. Your question is...
Or just people that aren't posting and they're not getting the hits from likes and comments.
I think they're getting
viewing.
some kind of hit from the entertainment or from observing other people's behavior. Like, have you ever been in a comment thread that's controversial and it's like people you agree with, people you disagree with. And then it's like, it's almost like watching a reality television show. You're just you're consuming it differently. It's not healthy. It's just a different argument.
That is fun when you see something unhinged and then you're like, I have to see what people are saying about this. The comment
section. Sometimes they're really, really funny.
I don't know if other people will think this is funny. I'll say it and we can cut it if we need to. There was something on Reels and it was advertising some kind of like toilet cleaner, and the toilet... No, it wasn't a toilet cleaner. It was like a bath mat, but like the toilet was panned. And I was like, that is the dirtiest toilet I have ever seen in my life. And I'm like, am I seeing this right? Is the toilet just brown and not white? Like,
no.
I was so confused. And then I went to the comments.
And you were reassured.
And one was like Taco Bell every night. I mean, it was just so funny.
Oh no.
I was totally high on my dopamine.
Yeah, and it's like you're getting a giggle, like, you know.
It was so funny. But anyways.
I don't know if you've noticed your kids doing this because, you know, we had to sit down and watch the whole run of Saturday morning cartoons to get to the one you liked. And that was it.
Yes.
My kids, oh my gosh, the flipping around on television shows.
Oh, I've not noticed the flipping around, but we don't have satellite or cable, so we only have streaming. What?
You don't have the Netflix?
Yeah, but they
Oh.
don't flip through things. But I've
mine do.
noticed, like, especially Ari, she'll turn on a movie and like lay down on the couch, and then 10 minutes later, I'm like, where'd
she
Ari?
go?
She's like up in her. I was like, are you not going to watch this movie you turned on? She's like, no, I'm doing something else now.
No one has an attention span, including me.
I'm like, okay.
It's always been hard for me to sit down, like pre-social media. JJ used to make him crazy when we first got together. He was like, will you just sit down? Just sit down. It's always been hard, but social media makes it
But
worse.
the double screening.
Double
you turn
screening.
something on TV and you're still flipping your phone. I hate that. I do it. But
I do
hate
it too.
I'm like,
I
when I
know.
think about it, I'm like throwing my phone across the room.
It's
like,
so bad.
why am
It's like
I
we
doing
know
this?
we're
Why?
a bunch of addicts. Like we know we're addicted. We're addicted to the dopamine, man.
I'm trying
man.
hard, Katie.
I know, girl. It's a struggle. We're in it together. So we want good dopamine.
Ugh, I just love these. Okay. So, there's also a thing called dopamine dressing, which is the idea of instilling joy in yourself through what you wear.
Oh, I mean, that's me every day.
I know. I love that.
I
That was
love that.
on my list. Like
That is a
getting dressed
high.
and feeling cute.
That is a high that will last you all day long.
And I'm talking about like feeling cute. It's like liking my sweatpants.
Oh.
Like,
Sometimes
these
that's true.
sweatpants are so
No,
good.
I did a cool sweatpants look to football the other morning and I was feeling myself.
You kind of have on a tracksuit today.
You know, guys, we need to get to the point where we're like Alex Cooper, call her daddy, like where we can just wear sweatsuits every day.
I almost wore that like knit
Can
free
we
people
just do
suit
that
today.
Can we just do sweatsuits? Can we go to sweatsuits?
Girl, you're not
Listeners,
ready to see all my sweatpants.
Are they pretty sweatpants? Mine are not.
I mean, not really.
Okay. In all seriousness, though, dopamine dressing, getting ready in the morning and putting something together that you just feel like $1,000,000. Here's how you do it. Wear things you love. Don't wear things you think other
Yeah.
people are going to like on you.
Wear the
Wear
sweatpants.
things that you feel comfortable and sexy and feel like they match your personality or your sort of vibe for the day. If you're feeling dark and moody, put on something dark and moody. If you're feeling happy and bright, put on something happy and bright. Don't wear the clothes. Don't put them in the back of your closet thinking you're going to wear them on a special day. Wear them like today.
Do it.
It feels so good all day long. You'll be in a great mood.
Okay. So we're wanting our dopamine. We're dopamine dressing. We're feeling good.
Feeling
We
good in
got
the
our first
morning.
hit of the day when we got dressed or not got dressed. Maybe we just stayed in our sweatpants and we're feeling it.
I also think just getting up a little earlier than you think you need is just having a little bit of extra time is a real dopamine luxury kind of thing. Like, oh, I have 10 minutes to just have my coffee, you know, or I'm not rushing. If you find yourself rushing, I think that's a real stealer of joy.
Today was the first day of the school year that I took Millie to school and I had to leave the house like looking like a real person. I yelled at them all.
It's okay.
I couldn't handle the pressure.
It's so much pressure. Now you know why I'm late to recording mornings.
I couldn't handle the pressure.
It is. It's a lot of pressure to get up and get ready and get out the door in the morning.
It is. Okay, so let's go through some seasonal menus first.
'Kay.
Fall is easy, I think. We're all so desperate for cooler weather.
We
We
are.
will do anything to pretend it's cooler.
Which has been making me a little miserable lately. I'm not going to lie because I'm so sweaty. I know. I'm trying to pretend it's fall.
You're
I
not
was
even hot
pouring
flashing
sweat this
like I am.
morning.
All I want to do is wear a sweater and not sweat.
Dude, I was sweating so bad this morning.
That's all I want.
I know.
Okay, so for
It's too much to ask.
We're going to the pumpkin patch. We're drinking those pumpkin spice lattes.
I have no problem with people who love all the fall shit. I don't care.
Why not? It's fun.
Why not?
You can only do it in the fall.
I
Let's
don't care.
dive in.
Start your pumpkin spice in August. I don't
me either.
care.
In fact,
Do
I
you know what?
partake.
Drink it all year long.
We're planning a fall girls' day for my teenage daughter and her friends. And we're going to go to the
Aw.
pumpkin patch and we're going to
Aw.
watch. We saw something on social media. Sorry.
I
so
know.
hard.
I know. You can't.
Where they had a party and they all dressed up as their favorite character from You've Got Mail. And so we wanted to.
Wait, your kids are way too young for that.
Oh, they like it because I make them watch it.
Oh,
Because it's like one of my favorite.
that movie's too long though.
movie.
It's so long. It's so much mail.
All right, addict.
It's just so much mail. It's so much.
I just love it. We love all the quotes. We love New York City.
It is a great movie though.
So we're gonna dress up. We're gonna bake.
Wait, isn't
pumpkin
Tom
cookies.
Hanks in Seattle in that one?
No, that's Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, sorry. That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry. Okay.
Somebody
Anyway.
needs an 80s, 90s movie night.
Okay. I'm sorry. Keep going.
So we're going to do all the fun fall things. We're going to make our
Aw.
pumpkin cookies. We're going to go to the pumpkin patch. We're going to watch all our fall movies.
That's fabulous.
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, I love Hocus Pocus. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me so happy inside. Halloween is that. I'm not I'm not a pumpkin girly.
You like the Halloween?
Oh, I love the spookies. Oh,
I'm
my
not into the
gosh.
spookies.
Oh, I start watching scary stuff. Oh, I just love it, love it, love it.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Christmas coming up on the heels.
I know.
So easy. You go to the Nutcracker. You go ice skating.
You have Pics with Santa on here. That is my personal hell.
I never do that.
I
But some people live for it. Some people like make the reservation.
I know.
Go hours away.
One of my
Ari's
friends
had
does it
pictures
at
with
Phipps
Santa
every year. They always
one time.
have, and they make it a
No.
big thing, and then they go to a big dinner. It's awesome. I love it. It's like it's like the family
My
day.
kids all kind of know Santa's not real. They
My
just
oldest,
know.
My oldest. I know. It's so sad.
They're like,
And I'm
I'm
pretty sure
calling
my middle's
BS
like-
on this.
I know. I know.
But I remember being that way. I remember telling one of my little cousins when I was like in low elementary school that Santa wasn't real, and I got in trouble.
Well, I hope you did. That's not nice.
I just didn't want them to fall victim to the scam.
You mean the joy and magic of the holiday?
Or the scam.
Oh, okay.
But as a parent, I'm kind of like, some weird man did not bring you this. I went to work and bought this with my money.
You're pragmatic.
For you. So I feel like the seasonal menus are pretty easy. Because even if you don't like the pumpkin stuff or like all the holiday stuff, like you still maybe go to the mountains and go on a hike when, you know, it's just
We
absolutely
tried to do that
gorgeous.
Saturday and woke up.
When there was a hurricane.
I know. It was not a good move. I'm not going to lie.
The first hurricane we've ever had in North Georgia. And Katie's like, let's
Well-
go hiking. I'm feeling
It
it.
was the first day we didn't have 900 sports things, and I needed to get in the mountains. It was my dad's
Because
birthday.
they were all canceled.
You're about to feel like shit. It was my dad's birthday, you asshole.
We could have had dinner or something. We didn't have to go hiking.
It's my happy place. I needed to touch
know.
grass. I needed to know there was something beyond my cell phone and
Could have
work.
brought you a
and,
gummy, Katie, if you needed some.
You know, you're my first call next time.
Oh, pumpkin.
But anyway, so we go up.
you
and
really went.
We did. I'm not lying. We went to the mountains.
Did anyone have power?
I don't know. But the hike was closed. Police line caution tape, not just like, oh, it's closed.
They were so worried about the downpour.
Police caution tape. So anyway, we found a little
danger zone.
Yeah, it actually was. So we ended up we found a little day use area. We brought fishing rods too. So we found a little day use area. We had a big picnic. It was
That's
raining.
sweet.
No, because it was raining and cold and we had dressed for like 80s.
Oh,
So I was like wrapped in towels, but my kids had a blast.
well, good.
And I enjoyed enjoying
Good.
them and being outside and not being, you know, connected for a little bit.
That's so nice.
It was a dopamine
I
hit,
love that. Yeah.
especially when we got in the car and warmed up.
You're like, so nice. These heated seats.
Well, we were about to go around the caution tape, but then this guy came up. Yeah, this guy came up and he was like, you know, that's a federal offense if you cross that tape. And I was like, will they take my kids? Okay.
That's so funny because my friend and I went to play tennis the other day and it was like slightly drizzling on and off, like not raining. And we were just going to play because it was so cool and nice. And the tennis coach of my program was there. And she's like, we can't play. The courts are too wet. And so we were like, okay. So we went across the street to another park.
What a fun sponge. I bet she's great at parties.
We were like, we just want to play.
Right? Like, just let us do our thing.
It's like, have you seen
There
us
are
play?
people-
We're not really playing.
What's the opposite of dopamine? Because there are people who like hate fun and joy. And if they see you having fun and joy, they just want to
dopamine
crush it.
Suckers.
Suckers. Fun
They
sponge.
suck that
Dopamine.
dopamine out.
It's the only thing they're sucking.
Okay, so we did the seasonal.
Listen up, baddies. Our Patreon is growing like crazy. If you're loving the podcast, it's a phenomenal way to hear more exclusive content, including our monthly catch-ups, which are absolutely hilarious, uncut episodes, shorts, and coming very soon, interviews and more content piggybacking off of our most loved episodes. We can assure you we are unfiltered and maybe even a little feral. So go to the Linktree on our Instagram page at Podcast She Did What to get straight to our Patreon and join today. Remember, if you join as an executive baddie, you'll get an episode shout out as well. We can't wait for you baddies to see this extra content.
I think this is a super important one, and I want to start doing this. I think my kids would benefit from this. So a dopamine menu to break or start a habit. So let's start a menu of things to get us off our phones. What can we, or our iPads, what can we do when we find ourselves like sitting down to scroll instead of scrolling?
You read a lot, and I've been
That's my number one.
I've been working. You know what? I realized this on Sunday. My attention deficit disorder, hyperactive disorder. I really struggle to read because you gave me that book. I'm really enjoying it. The one Ghost. I'm really enjoying it.
Yes.
And I'm really, really struggling because I knew I wanted to make a homemade meal, and I had to make bread, and bread needs a lot of attention. And I knew I needed a couple ingredients because I wanted to make homemade chicken stock. So my whole morning, I really didn't sit down all day because I was making the bread. And then what did we do? We had some activity. Oh, we went to a movie. I just couldn't. Yeah. I was like, I got to like every minute I would sit down to read for a minute. Either a kid would need something or my alarm would go off to like do a fold on my bread or,
Well, I was going to say another option would be like a new recipe to try. That's a good option.
Oh, sorry. We were on the positive side of this.
Yeah.
My bad.
So you could read a book instead of scrolling. You could try a new recipe. We've been big on puzzles lately.
I love puzzles.
Puzzle. I did a whole puzzle on Sunday afternoon.
How many pieces was it?
500.
That's still impressive. I think 500 to 1,000 that's good work.
We were in it, and I love crossword searches. Am I
fun?
I'm totally grandma-ing right now.
No, it's meme all fall.
It is.
But also, there's a game called Rummy Cube. It has different pronunciations. I love it. It's a tile game. And my best friend and I used to play it like on football, like Sunday nights. I think we would all get together and make dinner, or like, I don't know, over the weekends we would get together and we would always cook dinner together. And then the guys, like, we would have football games on at night and we would play, she and I would play Rummy Cube.
Card games, board games. Josh and Josiah played Catan.
I don't know what that is.
It's like some weird.
We need to go back to this.
Conquest something before his game for like 30 minutes before the ball game last night.
That's great.
But I was like, hey, he's not on his iPad. Let's do it.
That's great. I think there's starting to be studies on people who are on their cell phones before a physical performance versus people who are not.
I sent it to Ari. Like, you are not supposed to be on your phone like for an hour and a half before like your big game. Mm-hmm. Like, cut that stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps you focus.
Totally.
And so I think that's great. I think we need to go back to board games. We went up to the mountains in May and we did screen free, like total screen free. And we had games.
You were texting me.
No, I mean like no, with my kids. I have 3 kids.
Oh, the kids were screen free.
Yeah, I mean, like I was texting, but I think that was it. I literally,
I tried to be screen free, and you bothered me, Brandy.
No social media, nothing. And I had to text actually because when my kids, one of my best friends is a nurse, and one of my kids broke his head open. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but we did screen, and it was great. My kids were happier. Everybody was happier.
It's hard to break, like initially, to break it. They just want to go for that iPad first thing. But once you start breaking it, and that's why I think like put a thing up on your refrigerator, like things I can do instead of my iPad. I can play cards. I can do a puzzle. I can do a crossword. I can go outside and play with the pets. I can ride my bike.
Go for a walk.
Josh and Millie and Josiah rode their bikes. We have a huge hill in our front yard that goes down and up for like an hour, just going up and down this hill.
That's fun. That little,
It's
you
like
know,
a
when your
roller
stomach
coaster
goes up in
Josh-
your throat.
Josh was sore the next day.
I bet he was. Was his butt sore?
He was riding Ari's bike.
Oh my God. It was my seat always
waiting
hurts.
for the hospital. Oh, riding a
After
bike
we ride
is
bikes,
not my
ooh.
thing.
Ooh.
Not for women of a certain age.
Listen, there's this whole thing about little treat culture that like the younger people are. Little treat culture is not so bad.
I
They're
love it.
joyful dopamine moments that are like,
Look,
I deserve a little treat.
what-
I love it.
what did I bring you this morning?
You a croissant?
And why did I bring it to you?
Because we did that. We're doing this episode.
Because I wanted a little treat because I took the trash.
But I'm going to tell you, it was such a sweet treat because I had my baby threw my baby, he's 3. He threw such a fit going into school this morning. It was really difficult. So my little treat was so special. Thank you.
I
And
had to go to the dumpster, and so I deserved.
You deserved a
something
little
nice.
treat. Why do you not have trash pickup?
Because we have a dumpster. At one of our properties, there's a dumpster, and we pay for it, so we go take our trash. Oh, I'm not paying twice for trash. I'm cheap.
Okay.
We've just always literally I'm like explaining that we've always had dumpsters at our businesses, and so we've just always.
What do you do as the trash piles up?
Well, you don't let it pile up. That's why you have to take the trash.
Constantly. How far is this from your home? I'm intrigued.
It's a ways, our current dumpster.
Okay.
It's in another
It's
county.
okay. Is this near our off our she did what offices?
Not too far.
That is wild. You are stone cold psychopaths. All right, so little treat culture. So you drove 2 counties over.
Drove 3 counties uphill in the snow.
You literally drove 2 counties over.
Just one.
Okay, to another, and you brought me a little treat, and I really appreciate it. So
We
thank
needed
you.
I love the little treat.
I love little treat culture.
But hey, you got to keep it in line. Like a little treat is not a $200 something, you know?
One of my friends is a tenured professor, and I think she's tenured. And she, of course, like when you're researching and you have all this like very heavy academic grading and all these things going on, she has always used since I've known her, since she was getting her doctorate, little treat culture to get through her work. So she'll sit and like lock in for 2 hours, and she'll go totally like off of everything, and then she'll like respond, like if we're getting together for a girls trip, then she'll start to plan it, you know, like hey guys, here's some I was just researching hikes. I used it as my treat to get through my last 2 hours of research.
And see,
So,
that's a free treat. Well,
yeah,
kind of. I mean, then
but
you
it
pay
also
for the
is.
trip.
I find myself using her method because sometimes, especially with office work, it's hard for me to lock in. So I'll be like, hey, a little treat. Maybe I'll look up a great restaurant to eat at in Atlanta when I'm going to be there for buying. And, you know, just taking those little breaks. A little treat doesn't have to be buying a designer handbag or, you know,
I think that's a distinction,
planning a yacht trip. It's like it can really just be something small that just gives you a little joy. It's like, oh, that's fun.
Well, and that leads me, this is a good segue to my next point. What can we do to dopamine lift others?
I mean, that croissant's really
You can
good.
bring them a little treat.
That croissant is delightful.
One for me, one for you. Like, so you can totally help other people
Have
with
that
their
little
dopamine.
lift. Have a lift.
Give them a little bump. It's good.
I think the holidays are a great time for us to be kicking this off. I was thinking about you posed the question, what would be on our dopamine menus?
Ooh.
I really want to do fun holiday decor. I feel like I just always rush
Are
through.
you a holiday person?
I
did
get
not know this about you.
I get a lot of joy out of one of my favorite things to do over the holidays, honestly, is get up early and have coffee with my Christmas tree lights on when nobody's awake.
That's really nice.
And listen to Christmas music.
That's really nice. I'm there for that.
It's so good.
Christmas music. Sometimes I get into the Christmas music. I don't like the holidays in general because I hate all of the things you were supposed to do. Like I feel like I'm forced to do too much.
Oh, yes.
Stuff.
Yes.
Like just in general.
Yes.
But sometimes I'll get on a Christmas music kick in like November.
I live for Christmas music.
It's just so nice.
Everyone in my house hates me. I don't care. It brings me so much joy. We listen to Christmas music pretty much from November 1st.
Do you like old school Christmas music?
All of it.
Me
I like
too.
the old. I like the new. I like the carols.
Holiday traditions. Seriously.
I sang in chorus in our chorale in high school. I'm
learning new things.
I was a soprano one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could hit those high notes before cigarettes and bourbon. And
For life brought me down.
You know, as it does. And I love choral music.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just love there's nothing better than those early mornings in front of the Christmas tree with some Christmas music, in my opinion, before the world has woken up. Oh, my heart feels good just thinking about it.
Snowed while you did that. Would that put you over
orgasm? Immediate orgasm. Instant.
Oh, that would be so. That was so nice. I remember it snowed a lot when we were towards the end of our trip in Colorado this past year, and it was just we had huge windows in our condo, and it was
seeing those big flakes come down.
Magical. There was a fake fireplace thing.
Little Christmas. Is there anything better?
No.
Oh gosh. So I've also mine are bigger. But my grandparents had this tradition on Christmas Eve. You know, I've talked about the old Montana Poppin'. Mm-hmm. Every Christmas Eve had a Poppin'. You could come over for a Christmas cocktail.
Oh, nice.
And I was thinking about like having that be a thing at our house and just inviting anybody who wants to pop in for a little Christmas cheer. Come over for a cocktail on Christmas Eve. Because, you know, Christmas Eve, it's like, okay, you know, everything's kind of done. What do you do? And just like for a little visit.
We always have family stuff.
I know people are always saying that. All this family stuff.
And I think that's why I don't like.
I have a smaller
the
family.
Holidays. It's because we have to go do all the stuff, and a lot of times it's with people we see all the time.
Ugh, ew.
And so it's like like, why do we have to get together because it's this day? When I say, you know, it's just it feels too forced for me.
Oh, okay. You are such a person that does not like to be told what to do at all.
Mine are very old lady.
Mine are too. Homemade chai lattes. I'm like reading my list.
Chai.
It's like, this shit is so boring.
Ari and I have like a huge tea collection at home.
3 Porch Farms chai tea.
Okay.
Someone gifted it to me and I was like, okay. And then one day I made it.
It's so good. I love a chai.
And it changed my life.
Yeah.
So I will link to this chai tea. Get it. You make it stovetop. It is such a dopamine hit. It is a joy bomb in your mouth.
Look, oat milk is great with the chai.
Oh, yeah.
They just mix so well.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Oh, now I want one. I want one.
Should have brought you one. So mine are like reading, bookstore browsing, food treats, cool weather.
I think there are all right. Here and in making my list, because I was like, oh, my things are all bigger. That's a little like, they all feel like a lot to take on. But then I was like, something that brings me a lot of joy is having something to look forward to.
Yes. Planning a trip. That was on my list. That's half the fun.
It is. Yeah. And planning a trip, not so much, but it
is for me.
It's just like the details, but having like a little gathering or like a midweek date night, things like that are just so fun, I think. And I don't think and I'll say as modern women, we are so quote unquote busy. And I think busy really means we are overscheduled, overbooked, saying yes to everything, feeling guilty if we are not saying yes to everything. And I think we're so overscheduled that we're not taking the time to take the time for ourselves.
And just a little something to make you feel good.
Just even going for a walk or even, you know,
it.
I love a walk.
When we moved, we have a screened-in back porch. We love just being on that back porch now.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, it's just joy. So yesterday I took the afternoon. My son had a doctor's appointment.
did?
Well, I did a lot of like podcast work
From home.
from home. And one of my friends brought me a beautiful rose scented candle. And I lit the candle
I love a good candle.
and I made myself a cup of coffee in the afternoon. I know, naughty. I was such a bad girl. and I lit the candle and I sat in my room and I worked
So nice.
in my cozy little nook. And it was just delightful.
I love lighting a candle and reading, like in the evening. It's just
it's so vibey.
moody.
Oh yeah, in the bathtub.
Oh, you're going to next level now.
Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't been able to bathe because it's been so damn hot.
I haven't been able to bathe.
I have literally been taking cold showers.
Yes,
At night.
You get so hot in that
I'm
bathtub.
so hot.
Okay, so yesterday I came across this poem and I was like, how appropriate. So the poem is called Reverse Aging the Easy Way, but it was inspired. She was in the grocery store checkout line and she saw a headline in one of the magazines that was this. And so she was like, well, I'm going to like list all these things that will help me reverse age. So bring her joy, I think essentially is what that means. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because even though it's a poem and it's in a new book, the book is A Bit Much by Lindsay Rush. And it's it's not your normal poetry. Like if I say poetry and you're all like, it's not that. It's like just fun little observation things really quick, not the normal format. So this is just a bunch of like random thoughts split up by like, what do you call that? Just a slat. What do you call that? Backslash. Yeah. So it's super funny, but I was like, these are fabulous dopamine menu
Yes,
items.
I love it. Read it.
So I can't read the whole thing. It's too long. Dress to toe, head to toe in your favorite color. Come up with a secret handshake.
I loved this one.
Ask someone to cut your sandwich into triangles.
No crust.
I'm going to do that the next time I order a sandwich. I would laugh so hard.
Don't do that to somebody in a kitchen.
I would be so high on dopamine from doing that.
One of those really tall club sandwiches with the toothpick, like towering
Can
club
I get this in
sandwich.
triangles, please? I mean, even if you don't want them to do it, just to ask them and see their face would like
Oh,
put
their
me
face.
so high.
What is the opposite of a dopamine hit? Because that poor server, that's what they're like. I have to go ask the kitchen to do this. Okay,
This is
sorry.
a good one our audience may enjoy. Hide something under your bed.
I think our audience is already doing that.
Scream in delight.
Into it. I do that a couple times a week.
Get a goldfish and name him something like the Fresh Prince of Bowl Air. Okay, hunt for 4-leaf clovers. I love that. Stay out after curfew.
Can you get lost in a daydream? I don't see it. Do you see your kids? That actually kind of made me. Do you ever see your kids daydream?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
feel like mine daydream the way I used to.
Millie
daydream.
daydreams out loud.
Well, Griff does too, but like, but do you remember how you used to like do like a stare and you would like get
Yeah.
lost in like a good thought in a stare? Remember how good that
Yeah.
felt?
Oh,
I haven't done that in a long time. I
wanna
don't
do
know
it
how
all the
often my
time.
kids do it.
that's one of my dopamine menus. One of them is people watching.
Oh, I love to people
Ooh,
watch.
to sit like at a ball game.
Oh, yeah.
and people watch. Ooh, that is good. Okay, back to the poem. Tell everyone who is mean to you that they are rubber and you are glue, or you are rubber and they're, I don't know, whichever way.
Right. Which,
I just thought these were so funny. Sing yourself to sleep.
oh,
Relax into the truth that there are no monsters in the closet.
I love that.
That fun is never a waste of time, and maybe, just maybe, a life of joy will be your greatest achievement. That's
like
the
it.
end of it. But there was a lot in between.
We'll link to it.
But I thought those were just hilarious little dopamine hits.
Yeah.
I love
like it.
One of my dopamines is laughing with friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you make me laugh, I will love you and like attach to you.
You know, one time with my kids last night, I took my oldest to get new shoes and he was so funny. And I don't think I spend a lot of time with him. I think my husband, because of sports, takes him a lot. And we don't spend a lot. It really hit me last night. I was like, we don't spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
I'm always with, he was like, you're with the screamer, the baby. He goes, he's like, you're always with, because I told him, I was like, I had so much fun just going and getting you new shoes. He was like dancing in his new shoes. I was cackling. It brought me so much joy. I had the best night last night.
I love it.
And I think it's one of those things, like just if you're a parent, like breaking up and having individual time to do something fun with your kids.
Yeah.
And it just, just half the joy is in realizing like how joyful those simple pleasures can be.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that is just realizing the joy and getting those laughs in. I mean, that's all the dopamine menu is.
Mm-hmm.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
Natural high.
Mm-hmm.
When you were in high school, do you remember this? It was like when I was in high school, people said, they would be like, if you were acting really hyper excited, they would say, what are you high on? And you would say, I'm high on life.
Life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're
That's
high on
us.
life, baby.
She did what? High on life.
I love it.
And hormones.
These damn hormones.
Okay. We would love to hear what's on your dopamine menu.
Yes. And, I think seasonal is that's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, it is.
It's an easy way to start.
I love it, but it's easy.
It is. So it's a great place to start,
Yeah.
Start with whatever brings you a little hit of joy and just add it to your days.
Yeah. Let us know what unhinged thing you do too. I want a video if you ask your waiter to cut your
for the love of God, ask your spouse, but or your child. Don't ask your waiter. It is 2024.
They might laugh. They would get a kick out of it once you started laughing.
Sister, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know if you've employed people in 2024 in the service industry, but I have. Don't do that.
Our waiter yesterday gave us a whole history of the building we were in.
Where were you?
At South.
Oh.
She told us all about it. We were like, okay.
It's on the Haunted History Tour.
Oh.
Which I cannot recommend enough.
Dopamine menu.
Yes.
Fall item.
Yes. One of my friends and I were going to take our kids and do the Haunted History Tour.
Let's do it.
I can't wait. Okay. We love y'all. We hope, you know what? I hope this podcast is a dopamine hit for you.
Oh, It is for me.
You know what? Making clips of you for social media, that gives me a dopamine hit. I know it's social media, but editing video of you gives me a dopamine hit.
Small doses of social media is acceptable.
Actually trolling you about your days in Charleston. We'll get there, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm playing a long game. I'm playing chess. Brandy's playing checkers.
I had a great experience.
I bet you did. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll be back at it next week. Bye. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you enjoyed our conversation and can't wait to share another episode with you next Thursday.
Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. To keep up with the latest, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Podcast She Did What. We'll be sharing updates, behind the scenes, and announcements you won't want to miss.
And if there's anything you'd like to share with us, whether it be a personal story or feedback on our episodes, you can leave us a voicemail at 762-499-2201 or head over to our website, shedidwhatpodcast.com. Also, feel free to leave us a review down below. We'd love to know what you think.
She Did What is hosted by us, Brandy Chandler and Katie Jacobs, and produced by Studio D Podcast Production.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next Thursday. And remember, it isn't always easy, but it sure as hell can be entertaining.